Why can't we remember being babies? Imagine this. Tomorrow morning you wake up, and someone tells you that the first 3 years of your life have been erased. Not forgotten. Erased. Every laugh, every cry, every moment, gone. Your first smile, your first word, your first step, the first time you saw your mother's face, the first time you heard your own name, gone. Now here's the strange part. That has already happened to you, and to me, and to every person who has ever lived. Because despite spending years experiencing the world as a baby, most of us cannot remember a single moment of it. What? Where did those memories go? Did our brains delete them? Were they never stored in the first place? Or is something far stranger happening inside our minds? For more than a century, scientists thought they had the answer. The explanation seems simple. Babies have immature brains. Their memory systems are still developing, so naturally they cannot form real memories. Case closed. Or so it seemed. But recently, scientists began looking directly inside the brains of infants using modern brain imaging technology. What they found changed everything. Researchers discovered that babies can form memories much earlier than anyone expected. In fact, the same memory system adults use appears to be active during infancy. New studies suggest that infantile amnesia may not be caused by an inability to create memories at all. Instead, it may be a problem of accessing those memories later in life. And that changes the entire mystery. Because if babies can form memories, then where do those memories go? Here is something even stranger. The years we remember the least may actually be the most important years of our lives. During the first few years after birth, the human brain is developing at a speed that will never be matched again. Millions of neural connections are being formed. A baby is learning language, learning faces, learning emotions, learning safety, learning danger, learning trust, learning how the world works. Imagine arriving in a completely alien world. You don't understand a single word. You don't know what objects are. You don't know what sounds mean. You don't even know that you are a separate person from the world around you. That is what being a baby is like. Every day is filled with discoveries. Every sound is new. Every face is new. Every experience is shaping the architecture of the brain itself. And yet, almost none of it survives into conscious memory. Or does it? Let's think about something for a moment. Try to remember your first birthday. Not a photograph. Not a story your parents told you. An actual memory. Can you see the room? Can you hear the voices? Can you remember the cake? Most people can't. In fact, most adults have no genuine memories from before the age of 3. Yet something interesting happens when researchers ask people about their earliest memories. Many people believe they remember something from an incredibly young age. A birthday, toy, a family gathering, a trip. But when scientists investigate these memories more closely, many turn out to be reconstructed stories. Pieces assembled from photographs, family conversations, home videos. In other words, some of our earliest memories may not actually be memories at all. They may be stories we have heard so many times that they now feel like memories. And that raises a fascinating question. If some of our earliest memories are reconstructed, how much of our personal history can we truly trust? Now consider something even stranger. Watch a baby for a few days. They recognize familiar faces. They recognize voices. They recognize routines. They know when something changes. They know when something feels different. Clearly, information is being stored. Clearly, learning is taking place. The baby brain is constantly collecting information about the world. The real mystery is not whether babies learn. The mystery is why adults lose conscious access to those experiences. One theory compares memory to a city. Imagine trying to navigate a city using a map that was created decades ago. Over the years, roads disappear. New roads are built. Entire neighborhoods change. The destination may still exist, but the route no longer works. Some neuroscientists believe infant memories may suffer a similar fate. The memories themselves may not be erased. Instead, the neural pathways needed to access them may have changed so dramatically that finding them becomes almost impossible. Another theory involves language. As adults, we organize memories into stories. We think in words. We describe events using language. But babies experience the world before language, before narrative, before a fully developed sense of self. Perhaps those early experiences were stored in a format that our adult minds can no longer easily read. Now let's explore an idea that sounds almost like science fiction. What if your earliest memory still exists somewhere inside your brain? Not as complete movies, not as perfect recordings, but as hidden traces, fragments, patterns of neurons formed decades ago. Think about a forgotten password. The files still exist. The computer still contains them. You simply no longer know how to access them. Could the same thing be happening inside the human brain? Nobody knows for certain. But recent research has strengthened the possibility that infant memories are formed and stored, yet become difficult to retrieve later in life. Scientists studying infantile amnesia increasingly view retrieval as a major piece of the puzzle. And if that is true, it changes how we think about ourselves. Because even if we cannot consciously remember those years, they may still influence us. A baby who is comforted learns safety. A baby who experiences affection learns connection. A baby who hears loving voices learns trust. These experiences shape the developing brain long before conscious memories can be recalled. Now imagine a technology capable of reading memory traces directly from the brain. Not tomorrow, not next year, but perhaps someday. What would you choose to see? Your first birthday? Your first smile? The first time your mother held you? The first face you ever recognized? The first moment you became aware of the world around you? Today that sounds impossible. But many scientific breakthroughs once sounded impossible. After all, scientists can now observe memory-related activity inside the brains of awake infants, something that would have seemed unbelievable not long ago. Perhaps the real mystery is not that we forget our earliest years. Perhaps the real mystery is that those years shaped everything we became. Long before we could speak, long before we could remember, long before we even understood who we were. The first years of your life may be hidden from memory, but they are still part of you. They help shape your emotions, your relationships, your understanding of the world. And maybe, the most important memories of your life are the ones you will never consciously remember.